I don't know a single guitarist that likes the CAGED system. It feels like this completely disconnected framework from everything else you learn. And by the time it becomes useful, you kind of know enough other stuff that you don't need it, in my opinion. What I'm going to show you today is a framework that is much more practically and immediately useful. And it's basically the CAGED system, but hopefully demystified. I am ultimately going to just show you what the CAGED system teaches, but in a way that you can actually use, and in a way that hopefully just makes sense. So yeah, the CAGED system teaches you, where all these different C chords are, for example. But then, great, like, what do we do with that? I think most people get to that point where they learn where these different chords are. They don't fully know why the chords work. And then they just think, great, I've learned the CAGED system, what now? Well, hopefully this will answer that for you. This system that I'm about to show you is going to help you to find the chords all by yourself rather than relying on C, A, G, E, or D chord shapes, though those will probably pop up. An understanding of music theory here is useful but not totally essential. I would strongly advise that you check out Ben Levin's music theory course. I'll put a link in the description or a little card up here somewhere. I'll explain this in a way that doesn't require you to have music theory, but to really get the most out of this, you want to kind of know what's going on here. His theory course only takes a few hours to get through, so I'd recommend checking it out. This system works for diatonic chord progressions, in other words, chord progressions that use notes within the key and don't do anything too wacky and weird. Though I will show you how to adapt this for chord progressions that do go outside of the key a little bit, which is quite common in things like blues, for example. Again, your theory is going to be helpful there. Before we get started, I run an online guitar mentorship program. You send in clips of your playing, questions for me to answer, and I get back to you within 24 hours with a guaranteed response of what to do next. It's £69 a month, it's cheaper than lessons, and it's more flexible as well. If you think this is for you, click the link in the description. Anyway, on to the lesson. Okay, so first off, we need to either pick a key or find what key we're in for the song we're playing along to. I've chosen the key of A minor, and we don't actually even need to know which chords are in the key for this to work, though this will kind of tell us what they are anyway to some degree. So I'm using this website here. It's all-guitar-chords.com/scales. I'm drinking olive oil in the advert. What is going on? So what I've done here, I've clicked A natural minor. Natural minor is just the minor scale, so make sure you pick that one. And what it's done here is it's shown us every note in the key of A natural minor. Now the notes in A minor are just A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So when we think about our CAGED system or making chords, we can harmonize or make a chord out of every single note in this key. So we can make an A chord, a B chord, a C chord, etc. All we need to know is how do we make those chords and then how do we find them. So here's the simple trick for making the chord. We just take whichever note we want to make a chord out of, so A. So you're in the key of A minor and you want to play the A chord. It's probably going to be a minor chord, isn't it? It is. So all we do is we take the root note, A, we skip the next note in the scale and we take the one after, C. Do the same again, we skip the note after that and we take the one after that, E. So A, C, and E. So the notes in an A chord in this instance are A, C, and E, and that, just so you know, it does give us an A minor chord. So what that means is anywhere on the fretboard that you play A, C, and E, you're going to get an A minor chord, and in any combination, in any order. So if we have a look here, let's think about, I don't know, this 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th fret range. Somewhere around here, where can we find A, C, and E? So we've got A, C, E, another A here, C, E over here, we've got another E here. There's a couple of places we can play that. I've got an A and a C. So any combination of those notes is going to give us an A chord. Now this might look a bit overwhelming, and this is where the theory becomes quite helpful. If you know that it's an A minor chord, you can actually, up here, we could go to guitar arpeggios. I wonder if we'll get another weird advert. Oh, it's the same advert, different woman. Okay, if we know it's an A minor chord, A, C, and E, we can go A minor. And look, it gives you all of those notes, and as you highlight different parts of the fretboard, it will kind of colour in different ones. All of these A, C's, and E's, even though they're greyed out here, will work for an A minor chord. So if I click 5 here around this 5th fret. Okay, so you can see here, we could bar across this 5th fret and the high E string and the B. Oh, can you see me okay? Just about. So you could bar across the 5th fret on the G, the B, and the E string here. C, E, and A, and that's going to give you an A minor chord. You could play the 7th fret D string here, the 5th fret G, and the 5th fret B. That's going to give you an A minor chord. And you go all the way up to, say, the 12th fret, E, C, A, or A, C, E, whichever order you want to call it out in. You could even add that E above it as well. You could even add this little C. I know it's greyed out, but this whole combination is going to give you an A minor chord. So if we just go back to our scale identifier, so let's guitar scales even. Let's go back to our guitar scales. A natural minor. Okay, so these are all our notes in the key of A minor. So say we're playing a bit of lead guitar somewhere around here. and we want to play an A minor chord, well, we might be, say we've just landed on a B, we just happen to have hit that note. Well, we know that, okay, let's see if we can form a chord around here. We could go back and do that A, the E, and the C there. And I'll give you some examples of me doing it in a second. Or we could maybe use the C here, the E here, the other C here, and the A here. There's loads of different examples of shapes you could use. Now, this might look a bit overwhelming looking at the whole fretboard. Remember, you can just learn your scale positions. So I'm on this website, it's guitarscale.org. If I click shapes here, breaks the fretboard down into our 5 sort of main scale shapes for the key of A minor. And you can do this, you can see along the top here, you can do this for any key. So what it's worth learning is you want to learn these scale shapes, these 5 scale shapes, and just do these things one at a time. So, okay, position 1, it's between frets 5 and 8. That's why I was talking about that fret range earlier. So if you know this scale position, you can improvise all around here. And then when you feel that you want to, according to what you're trying to play, whether it's playing along with a song or doing a bit of improv, you can pick a note. Getting an olive oil ad. I already have olive oil. So we could maybe go back to, say, our guitar arpeggio thing and find that A minor arpeggio. So we could be, say, improvising in this scale shape, 5, 6, 7, and 8 around here. And then we just land on an A minor chord by sort of hitting any combination of these notes. Or we could even arpeggiate them by just playing them one note at a time. That relates more to your chord tones, and maybe if you're soloing over a progression and you want to hit a chord tone, this is also how you do that. Now, if you want to know which chords to look up ahead of time, you can just Google it. So here, I've got chords in all minor keys. So you can see here, A minor, these are your chords, A minor, AM. B, that circle is diminished. It's a B diminished chord. You've got C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major. Remember, the letter on its own is just a major chord. Now, they always appear in this order in the minor key. Minor, diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major. You'll see that here if we go to C minor. Minor, diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major. So let's pick another chord as an example. So let's go back to our A minor scale. So let's go for a C chord. So we're in the key of A minor, but we've played a C chord because that exists in the key of A minor. We're going to do that same process. We're going to pick C, we skip D and we take E, we skip F and we take G. Those are the notes in our C chord, C, E and G. So I go, okay, in this sort of region, 5, 6, 7 and 8, where can we find C, E and G? Well, C, E, G. So you could do 8th fret 8th fret low E string, 7th fret A string, 5th fret D string. You could even add that 5th fret there on the G and the 5th fret on the B. So when you're playing along in your A minor key and you want to play along with your C chord, you just need to do that. Let's do it for D. Got a D there, skip E, take F, skip G, take A. D, F, A. Those are the notes in our D chord. So any combination of D, F and A is going to give you those notes. So now if we know our A minor scale here, and we know where to find all of the chord shapes within that, we just take a note, skip the next, take the one after, skip the next, take the one after. We can start to combine these and kind of weave in and out of our lead and our rhythm playing. So I could play an A minor chord, remember we did this one, 3 highest strings on the 5th fret. So I could be playing lead and land on that A minor chord. And land on, say, that's an E chord. Again, we've got to learn where these are, but I could land on I think I played like that was a bit of Baker Street, wasn't it? Yeah, that'll be a different chord. We could do a C chord, do a D minor, G major. And all I'm doing is using that process that I just described to you. So I could play, say, a major chord. See, I'm going in and out of different chords with the lead lines in between. So now what we have is the chord and the context of all the notes that we can use around that. We're looking at our chords not as these isolated things, but within the context of scale positions. Very quick note, if the chord goes outside of the key, which is quite common, all you need to do is look up what the chord is, just Google it, find out what the notes are in that chord, and target those notes in that same part of the fretboard that you're playing in. To be honest, this is really where you would want to know a bit more about your theory. You could try and shortcut it, but once we start changing keys or changing chords in keys, things do get a little trickier. So if you want to take away objective from this lesson, take your first position of the A minor scale, and learn it if you don't already know it. and from there harmonize or make a chord out of all of those notes in the A minor scale in that position. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, using that process of take one, skip the next, and just either tab out or make some sort of note of where those notes are within that scale position. Try to memorize them, and then that means whenever the A, the B, the C, or the D chord come up, you know which notes you can play. You can either play them as a chord by playing them at once together, or you can play them separately as an arpeggio to highlight chord tones of the chord that you're playing over. If you're still a little confused as to how this works, hit me up with the questions in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best I can. And if you want more lessons like this, remember I have my online guitar mentorship where you can learn from me directly. Just go to the link in the description. I hope this is useful and hopefully you don't have to worry about the CAGED system anymore. Either way, you've got to do a bit of learning and a bit of practice, but hopefully this just gives you a bit more context around what the CAGED system is trying to teach you.